What's good, y'all? What's going on? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Let's see here. No problem, no problem. You are very welcome. I'm hoping this is helpful for you guys. Um, let's see. All right. So I'm going to just get right into it. I was going to wait and let more people come through, but you know what? I believe in being on time. Okay. I feel like if you're on time, you're late. So we gonna get started. All right. First things first. I am the only one that's moderating this on the back end. I don't have a team helping me with this, so bear with me. I have the chat box. I'll be looking at the chat. So, feel free to, have conversations with each other as you guys are watching. Feel free to network. That's what this is about, because I know I got some dope people that follow me. I don't have a lot of followers, but the people that do follow me are dope as hell. So you guys make sure you guys network in the chat. Definitely go ahead and do that. Feel free to do that. I have a Q&A box down below. If you guys have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to drop it in there because I will be stopping or pausing to look there and answer any questions throughout the presentation. And then there will be a final Q&A at the very end. So, uh, yeah, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, and then we're gonna go ahead and get busy. While I do that, can y'all tell me? I see some people in here that are their names look familiar. Let me know where y'all from while I pull my screen up and everything and switch everything over. Let me know where you guys are from. I'm curious. We got 22 people. Jamaica. Okay. Okay. Jamaica in the building. Kingston, Chicago. All right. Montreal. Okay. Louisiana, Tallahassee, Florida, Omaha. Oh my God, yo. Wow, Virginia. Wow. Okay. LA. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's good to know that my messages and my posts, they're reaching people because, as a creative, we have our moments where we doubt ourselves, and it's just dope. Connecticut, that's Houston, Texas. That's so dope. I appreciate y'all. I totally appreciate y'all. For real. All right. So, sharing my screen. You know what, though? Let's see. I want to make sure I see the chat, though, at the same time. There we go. Cool. Someone shared you with me. You're dope as fuck. I appreciate it. Can you ask everyone to switch their settings for their comments to go to the panelists and attendees? I can't see everyone's comments. All right, so at the bottom of the chat, make sure you guys switch your comment where it says to, make sure it's to all panelists and attendees. Make sure it say to all panelists and attendees. Appreciate you, Daisy. See you in the building. Cool. Cool. All right. All right. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right into it again. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. So yeah, I mean the virtual world of social media and monetization. Like I said in my promo video, I did this presentation at the beginning of November now, and it was for a conference down in Atlanta, and it gotten such great feedback, and I put so much effort into the presentation. I said, you know what? I just gotta share this with my network. So this is essentially what this is. It's the exact same presentation. This is why I'm giving away for free. I don't care about all that. I just want to put the knowledge out there. And then I also said not too long ago too, I miss teaching. I taught at SAE Institute for 3 years. My last semester there was this time last year. And COVID, man, COVID messed everything up. But teaching is one thing that I truly miss. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and put this webinar together and just, drop some gems and knowledge so you guys can prepare for the upcoming year. So with that being said, yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it. Shout out to Ken the Messenger. He is the gentleman in the promo. He's the record that's playing in the background. I definitely got to give him a shout out. That's him right here in the picture as well. So let's see. There we go. All right. You guys can see my screen and everything, right? And you still see me off to the side. Let's just make sure. Want to make sure you guys see. Cool. We good. All right. So just a little bit about me. This is like my least favorite slide. I don't like talking about myself, but I know I got a lot of people in here that are new to me. So let me go ahead and just formally introduce myself. I'm Patrice K. Coakley. You guys know that. I'm originally from Detroit, but currently residing in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I've been in Chicagoland for 8 years. I don't know how much longer I would be in Chicago. I do have a desire to relocate one more time. I don't know where yet. It just depends on where my career takes me. So we shall see. Like it says right here in the presentation or on the slide, I'm an educator at heart. I focus on making an impact, not chasing clout. You'll see this a lot throughout the presentation. You'll see that I am real big on not chasing a following number or getting followers. All that stuff will come. Focus on making an impact and making sure your music and whatever it is that you create is reaching people. So that is a strong message of mine, and I live by that. I have over 15 years of experience in marketing and consulting. I do have an MBA in marketing. My bachelor's is in marketing as well. So marketing is my thing. I study it like religiously. I love it. It's just my thing. As far as music go, my background in music, I actually started out playing the piano when I was 10. A lot of people don't know that. That's where the music comes into play. I played the piano growing up when I was 10. Well, actually, I started when I was about 8. And then I played it all the way up through to college. I didn't like ear training and theory classes in college, so I just switched my major from music over to business. And I said, when I get further along in my career, I'll apply what I learned in business to music. So boom, here we are. With that being said, I created the Baseline Group, which is an artist development and management company. I started that in 2014, so it'll be 7 years. Woo! Went by quick, 7 years next year. So with that, I have consulted many emerging artists and producers and songwriters on the music business. My work has appeared on Billboard, iHeart, Vibe, People, Wendy Williams, the whole nine. And that was through one of my biggest clients, Matthew Knowles. I worked with him for 2.5 years. That got me a lot of recognition, a lot of placement. It was dope experience. One of the best clients I've ever had. So shout out to him. Music business. I was a music business and marketing instructor at SAE Institute for 3 years. I received the 2019 Mentor of the Year award. I believe Percy Beatty is in the building as well. He was a recipient with me. Shout out to Percy. I see you in here. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see. I was a product education and music publishing specialist for a publishing administration platform called Tune Registry. Woo, that was a mouthful. So that's where the music publishing side of me comes into play. I worked with them, even though it was for 6 months. I learned a lot. I'm still connected with them over there. And the CEO of Tune Registry moved on to work with the MLC, and his name is Dave Bogan. I interviewed him on my podcast, Rich Off Passion. Make sure you guys check that out. So yeah, that's where that comes into play. I worked with the second largest social media tech company when I first moved here to Chicago. I was a contributing author for a music business textbook by Martin Atkins. I was a guest and contributor for many online publications and podcasts. And as I mentioned, I host a podcast called Rich Off Passion. I actually started that earlier this year as a way to bring, those that are slept on, but they have really great journeys and they were able to, you know, excel and become literally rich off their passion. I wanted to bring them to the forefront and talk more about the journey and not so much the celebration. So that's where that originated from. I actually launched that earlier this year, around the time we went into quarantine. I was bored, honestly. So that's where that came from. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell with the Baseline Group. I only manage one artist right now. His name is, well, I mentioned him earlier, Ken the Messenger. And but like I said, I consult quite a few different people currently. So let's get to it. So the session breakdown, here's what we're going to be going over. Okay. The introduction, I already went through that. We're going to talk about what is a personal brand, why it matters. We hear a lot of people talk about that, but y'all know me. If you follow me online, y'all know I give y'all the real nitty gritty. So I'm going to tell y'all why it truly matters. I'm also going to talk about why everyone needs a website. Everybody says that, but there's a real reason why you need it. Okay. We're going to talk about how psychology plays a part in music marketing. I'm also going to talk about the positive and negative effects of social media, how to use social media to our advantage. Like I said earlier, I use social media to my advantage. Like, honestly, if it was up to me, I wouldn't even be on social media. Like, if it was up to me. So this is why I am so business focused on Instagram mainly, because I'm using it to my advantage. And look, it brought all of you guys here. So thank you. We're going to talk about content marketing. This is one that a lot of artists and just people in general get hung up on. And I have to admit, I got hung up on this myself, but I was able to break through that. Just in the last couple of weeks, honestly, I've been averaging like 20 new followers a day. Like, that's insane given the hashtags that's been disabled due to election and all the stuff going on with the algorithm. I've been consistently getting 20 new followers a day. So that's straight up content, straight up organic. So yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been doing and it's been working. And it's good quality followers too. Like, these people are engaging. If they don't comment and post or or respond or anything like that in my post, they'll slide in my DM. So it's working. So I want to share that with you guys. We're also going to get into ways to avoid burnout from social media posting. Like, that is a thing. It's definitely a thing. We're going to talk about owning your data and communication, and last but not least, which is what I'm sure all of you guys are here for, is how to generate income. Yes, we're gonna get into it. Let's see. Speak on psych and marketing. Hallelujah. Yes, girl. I think you're a girl. Yes. We're gonna get into it. I'm so antisocial. Just IG made it last year to network and share my talent. Like, yeah, I can relate to that. Like, I have a little antisocial in me as well, being a Virgo and everything. We have our moments, but there's ways you can overcome that. All right. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. Sometimes you have to create your own opportunity before opportunities are presented to you. I believe this was a post that I put up like within like the last few days. This is a quote that's on my website. It's on the homepage of patricekcoakley.com, because this is truly how I've been able to get here. Like that second slide I showed you guys, all of that was from me creating my own opportunities because nothing wasn't presented to me. Okay. I had to go out there and get it. So I really want this to if you guys gotta screenshot that or screenshot this, go ahead as a reminder that sometimes you have to create your own opportunity before opportunities are presented to you. It shows initiative, it shows drive, and it shows that you're hungry, and people will eventually catch on. So yes, taking initiative is the only way. Ah, you're a dude. I apologize, sir. I do apologize. Got it. But yes, I definitely want you guys to, drive this like in your psyche that you have to create your own opportunity. So, what is a brand? I had to put the king and the queen of personal branding, honestly, when it comes to music. A brand is the personality. It's not your logo, it's none of that. It's the personality. What defines your product or your service or your company that you're marketing to an intended audience. Okay. So when people ask me what's my brand, it's not the baseline group, but what does the baseline group represent? What do I represent? You know what I'm saying? I'm all about authenticity. I'm all about, keeping it real. I'm all about making an impact and educating. So that's my brand. It's not the logo, you know. Logos change. I changed my logo twice. And the PKC logo, I changed it quite a few times. So a logo can change, but your brand does not, unless your brand evolves into something else. Okay. So your brand does not change unless you're evolving into something else. It's important for a creative to have a brand. Okay. It's so important. And this is why talent alone doesn't sell anymore. Your image does. We see this all the time. People on, Instagram say it all the time. Talent don't, talent, you need more than talent. You need work ethic. You need this, you need that. I even have a shirt that says that F talent, what's your work ethic like? So even now we see it all the time because there's talented people. I know majority of you guys are here. Well, actually all of you, if you guys are here, all of you are talented. Okay. But that alone will not sell. Okay. Your image does. Like me, I know a lot. I know a lot. I know more than what a lot of people know, from web design to publishing to the labels. I even read contracts. I got a little piece of the lawyer in me, but yet I can be in the studio helping an artist record and structure the song and whatnot. So that alone is not going to sell, but your image does. That's what's going to put you guys out there. People identify with brands and they look for something that's relatable. This is why I'm so authentic and I'm always keeping it real, because that's how I make myself relatable. Okay. Like when I started the live, my cat walked in. I didn't hide him. I said, my little cat walked in this room and he may distract me. That's relatable because I know some people may have cats or pets themselves. So, yeah, people identify with brands and they look for something that's relatable. And this is even for artists as well. Okay. Branding also allows for an emotional attachment. It allows for an emotional attachment. Okay. And what I mean by that is that people want to emotionally connect with someone. This is why you'll see a lot of people overshare online, and there's a fine line for this. There's people that will overshare, but you have to show enough so people can emotionally connect with you, but not show them everything. But like it says here, it allows for an emotional connection. A successful brand is consistent throughout a person's career, but it also evolves as they age. This promote authenticity. Now, a perfect example of this is Beyonce. This is why I used her on one of the slides, is that if you go back to the beginning of her career and look at where she's at now, her brand, it evolved as she aged. When she started out as a young girl, she was in a girls group. And then she became a solo act. And then she was talking about, let me upgrade you and all of the deja vu. She was in love and all this other stuff. And then she went through the lemonade period where she was, being cheated on and all of that. So her brand and story evolved as she aged, but it also made her authentic. It was like she was able to connect with other women because there's other women that was probably going through the same thing as her. Okay. So, like it says here, a successful brand is consistent throughout your career, but it also evolves as this person age and it promotes authenticity. So, what's your story and overall message? Okay, this is so key right here for a lot of you guys. You guys need to spend some time on this right here because I feel like in order to build a brand and build an image that you can actually market, okay, to build a marketable brand, you got to start at the foundation. Honestly, a little unknown fact, that's where the name the baseline group came from. The baseline, the base to me is the foundation, right? And when you think about a brand, your brand is the foundation to your career. So it was a metaphor. So, I strongly feel that, like, when I see artists and they'll slide in my DMs looking for help, one of the things is like, I'll go to their page and I'm like, I don't know who you are. What you got to think about, if somebody goes to your Instagram and they just scroll through, they should be able to tell who you are, what you represent, and what it is that you do immediately. Like um the first nine posts. So basically the top three rows, they should be able to tell who it is, that who you are, what it is that you do, and what you represent. They should be able to easily tell that. And sometimes I'll go to my profile and do the same thing periodically. When I be thinking about, all right, what should I post next? I'll go to my profile and I'll scroll and look and just look at the overall picture, because I know people will go to my profile and scroll just to check me out and see who I am. And I know that. And because I know that, I'll go here and look. And I'm like, all right, maybe I should post a picture. Like, folks need to know that I can get my little fashion on, because I am a brand ambassador for Lugs. Maybe I'll throw one of my Lugs pictures up, boom, let me put that up. Or, you know what, let me share Prince video or a Michael Jackson video. Or, you know what, let me share one of my little 1 minute clips so people can, learn something at the same time. But I still go back and review, and just to make sure I keep a variety there. So that way, when they go to my page, it tells a story and a message. So for you guys, here's 4 things you guys need to think about. Location. Okay. Are you in a unique location? Are you from a unique or obscure location that contributes to your sound? A lot of artists, like, if you old school and you're in Detroit, right? You're from Detroit. And I'm using Detroit as an example because, that's where I'm from. But if you're in Detroit and you have an old school sound and you want to bring Motown back, you need to put that in the forefront. I need to see that you're from Detroit, right? So, is that something that's unique, that contributes to your sound? What about your upbringing? Were you raised in a particular environment or culture that influenced you? You know, I know a lot of artists who are from other countries, and their culture is very rich and it's in that sound. So maybe your upbringing and your environment is something that you need to share more of, right? And make that a part of your story. What about your interests? Do you have interests that aren't typical or fit the stereotype that has its own audience? Perfect example of interest is skateboarding. Like, skateboarding is this niche that a lot of artists are into. Like, I saw this back when, like, Lil Wayne, perfect example. Lil Wayne, he was into skateboarding at one point. You also have I see bodybuilders skateboarding. You know what I'm saying? Like, athletes are skateboarding. So, do you have an interest? Anime, that's another one. Do you have an interest that's so unique that contributes to your overall image? You want to throw that in there as well. Yep, Lupe, kick push. Yep, perfect example. Exactly. And when he put that song out, that's what he became known for, as the skateboard young kid from Chicago. So, yep, perfect example. And then lastly, tragedy. Have you overcome a tragedy or incident that made you who you are today? It's sad. And I know a lot of people may not want to touch on that, but you never know. Your story and how you overcame some tragedy may help others. Kanye, yep, example. He had a car accident and that messed him up, but he dropped the song and it put him on the map, you know. Um, Exactly. The car catapulted him. Exactly. 50 Cent is another example. 50 Cent, like, and he said he was having a hard time finding the deal. And then he got one and he got shot up 9 times. And everywhere he went, he made sure that you knew that he survived getting shot 9 times. That was a part of his image, to the point where now he can say whatever he want online and people call it trolling or a bully. But think about it, that's a part of his image. And that's what we love him for. I know that's why I love him. 50 is smart. Smart. Yep. Stories connect us. Exactly. Bullet in the mouth, flip the delivery as well. Yep. Yep. If you go back and listen to 50 Cent's old music, you can hear it. Like his voice changed tremendously. With the bullet in his mouth, he got a raspier sound to him, and it made the image even more grittier, more street. So yeah, tragedy certainly helped. So once you get that together, you want to start thinking about your brand identity. Now, I wanted to create, I had to create this graph or this chart here because a lot of people get these mixed up. They think your brand identity is your image when it's not. Okay. It is not. Your brand identity is literally that. It's your identity. It's your reputation, is what it is that you want to be known for. Right. That then breaks down into these two categories. You have your brand persona and then you have your brand image. Okay. Your persona is your name, right? Uh, you want to describe the brand as if it's a person. What's the mood? Are you happy go lucky? Are you street? Are you hood? Are you, trap? What, what I'm saying? Like, that's the persona. What does the brand stand for and represent? And what does the brand want to be known for? So when you think of brand persona, you literally want to think of a personality, right? So what is the personality? Like, how would you want someone to describe you outside of what you look like, which is brand image? Brand image is the visual branding. So this is the color, the shape, the typeface or font, and the logo. So for me, I'm always wearing, well, I don't wear, but my color's red. You see it everywhere. I'm wearing red. This is a Baseline shirt, by the way. Got to plug that in there. Baselinegroup.com, thebaselinegroup.com. Yes. But I decided to wear the red shirt today instead of the black one. I'm always wearing black. So my brand color is red, right? So the color, that's the visual aspect of it. You have the shape. Do you have a particular shape in your logo that you use? Is there a particular font that you use? I have my logo is words. It's not, there's no symbols or nothing. It's just text based. That's the word I'm looking for. It's text based. So I have a particular font that I use for my logo. And then the logo, that's a part of the image and the whole visual identity. So when you think of identity, think of it as like if it was literally a person. So your brand identity is who you are. It's everything, right? It's everything. My name, let's say brand identity is my name, Patrice K. Coakley. My persona is how people would describe me, my personality. So when you guys hop off of here, you may go and say, man, Patrice did X, Y, and Z. She's this, and this. It's that's what the persona is. And then the image is what I look like and how I present the persona. Hope that makes sense. I got a question. Will this be available for me to share with the youth and other educators later? Thank you for being dope. I am recording this. Let me say that I am recording this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So it will be available, but as to what format and how I plan on delivering it, I don't know yet. But I got your email. When I make it available, I will be sure to let you guys know. All right. So yeah, like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A box. If you guys want to network with each other or just comment on, stuff that I'm saying, feel free to drop it in the chat. This is why I'm looking off to the side. I'm watching you guys at the same time. So yeah, I'm suggesting 22 Immutable Law of Branding. That I got that book. I got that book saved in my Kindle. I got it saved. It's up next after I finish this Rick Ross book. Yeah, I've heard great things about that book. Cool. All right, so let's keep it moving. So, talking about branding, I had to put Chance in here, and it's so funny. He's in the news now. Like, how ironic is that? Like this, like I said, this presentation was done over a month ago, and he is in the news. Like, oh, that's a whole other conversation that I might go live. I might do a YouTube video. I don't know, but I definitely want to talk about what's going on with him and his manager, or his former manager. I really want to talk about that. So I'm gonna save that for another day, for real. But it's coming, and I will let you guys know when I talk about it. But yes, Chance, perfect example of visual branding. What about your look stands out and differentiate you from everyone else? Right? If you took his hat off, he's just a regular black kid from, Chicago. But he put that hat on with the three, you know who he is. And you want to be consistent across all of your marketing platforms, especially your website. So with him, he has his three hat. It became a merch item. He made all kinds of money from it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a letter three. But if you zoom in, you notice how he was able to make this three different. You see, he got a little slant on the three right here, because I mean, you can't trademark a number. So he had to do something to it in order to trademark it. So he just cut a little piece of it out right here, and you'll see that in all of the hats. So he was able to take something that's relatable. We all know our numbers, and make it his own, and made a lot of money from it. Something as simple as a hat. So, visual branding, make sure you're consistent, and make sure it stands out and differentiates you from everyone else. So, I mentioned the website. Here's why everyone needs a website. In the middle, I got a screenshot of the mobile view of a website I put together for Ken the Messenger. Shout out to him again. Uh, I was gonna say something, but I'm not. I was gonna mess with him if he's watching. I don't know if he's in the chat or not. But anyway, why everyone needs a website? You want to serve your website serves as your online hub and home. Okay, your website is your online hub or home. It's where people can find you. Okay. You also want to make sure you use the domain name to set up a professional email for conducting business. A lot of people miss that step. They'll have a website, but they don't use the domain name for their email. They still use Gmail. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. Not saying that, because I still use a Gmail as well, but it just adds a professional touch when your name says name at da 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 da.com. Okay, just adds that professional touch to it. And I'm all about presentation. So when you have your own online home, you can set up an email, professional email, to conduct business. Also, you can collect contact information for D2C communication. D2C is direct to consumer communication. So having a website, you go on my website, I can collect your email address. Of course, I asked you for it. I can collect a phone number. I can collect all kind of data on that website. Data that you can't do on Instagram or Facebook. They collect it honestly and hold on to it. Like, you have to pay them to use the data, in a sense, when you run ads. But if I have my own website, I can collect all this information and use it to my advantage because I own it. You can easily monetize while strengthening the brand. So with my website, thebaselinegroup.com, I shouted out my online store. That's how I'm able to monetize the website, in a sense, is by selling t-shirts and hoodies. I got some hats on there and everything. And Ken the Messenger, he has a store as well. I set him up with the same thing. He has his own merch on the website. So not only does he have an online home where people can learn more about him, his music, and watch his videos and the whole nine, but they can go on there and shop as well. Like, that's just dope. And then last but not least, you own it. You own it, because you do not own these platforms. We do not own Instagram, we don't own Facebook. Like, you own your website. Now, one of the things that I really wanted to get into, because when we're talking about website, there's a lot more into it. It's a lot that goes into the website. And honestly, I'm touching on a whole bunch of stuff in this presentation because honestly, everything I can really go deep into everything that I'm covering, but I want to make sure I just give you guys a little bit of everything so that way you guys can leave with something, if that makes sense. But when we think about websites, we have to think about it. We got to think about the purpose of it. It's not only to monetize, but we have to give people a reason to visit the website. Okay. Now, I feel like a lot of artists don't think that way because they're artists, they're creatives. And this slide is the perfect representation of that. Artists have to think like businesses. Okay. And thinking like a business can be difficult for creatives. And this is what I said in the video. It goes deep into psychology. I took a psychology course in college, and I was just blown away when this came back up as I was studying the music business and working with creatives and whatnot. Because I used to get frustrated, like, why isn't the artist don't get it? Like, to me, I think setting up a business in a store makes sense and making money and this and that. To me, I'm like, oh, that's so easy to think, like to do, right? But for an artist, it doesn't click. They don't think about setting up a DBA or setting up a business bank account or setting up their LLC or filing their taxes and stuff like that. And this is why right here is way deeper than the fact that, because I see some people online will call artists lazy. And I don't like that. I don't like hearing that because they're not lazy. It's deeper. Is all in how the brain operates. Okay. We have left brain and the right brain. The left brain is more linear, is more analytical, it's controlling, it's practical. The left brain is the business side of things. It's like, all right, let me organize stuff. Let's have everything in order. Whereas the right brain is fluffy, it's colorful. They're a free spirit. They feel art, they're creative, they're passionate, they see colors, whereas the left brain just sees black and white. Let's organize it. Let's have an org chart. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the creative, they're just like, let's paint this city red. you know, and it's not the fact that one is lazier than the other or anything like that. It's just that this is how some of us are born. You're born with this. Okay. Now, as a creative, it may be hard for you. It may be hard for you to operate in your left brain. Just like there may be some business people that find it hard to operate in their right brain. I know for me, I'm literally in the middle, to be honest. And I think this is why I'm good at what I do, and I can easily communicate this stuff and talk to the people in the office and then go to the studio and hang out with the artists, is because I'm literally right in the middle, you know. And if I need to tap into that far right brain, I know some creatives I can call on. And if I need to tap into that far left brain when it comes to the business, I know folks I can tap, for that as well. But I'm right there in the middle and I totally understand it. So when it comes to artists, this is why a lot of you may not get it. So the solution is to build a team and have people around you that fill in the gaps. Okay, whatever you weaken is so important to have people around you that are their strengths are your weaknesses. Okay, it is so important and so key to have that. Another thing as it relates to psychology is uh the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I really wanted to throw this in here, just so you guys, if you guys are feeling any of this, feel free to Google this stuff, like straight up. Like, feel free to just look up psychology, left brain, right brain, and pull up all the studies on it, and definitely Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow was this psychologist back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I think it was like the 1700s. And he came up with this theory that people are motivated by 5 basic categories. Okay. And I'm going to break this down and then tell you why this is so important. All right. He said that people are motivated by 5 basic categories of needs: physiological, safety, love, esteem, and self actualization. Okay. What he said was that the higher the needs in the hierarchy begin to emerge, uh, well, no, I'm saying it wrong. Higher needs in the hierarchy begin to emerge when people feel they have sufficiently satisfied the previous need. So, what this means is that if we start at the bottom and we work our way up, physiological needs: air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction. What he's saying is that we're motivated by this here. Once we have our air, food, water, and shelter, and sleep, and all that other stuff, then we'll start thinking about safety. We'll start thinking about employment and resources and health, personal security, and whatnot. Once we set there, once that's set, now we're going to start thinking about love and belonging and friendships and intimacy and whatnot. Once we good there, then we'll start thinking about respect, self-esteem, status, and whatnot. And then once we straight in those 4, then we start thinking about the top one: self-actualization, desire to become the most that one can be. Now, here's why this is so important for what it is that we do. It's important because for 2 reasons. As artists, and I know a lot of artists will create music because it satisfies their own need. But here's the thing: once you start thinking about making music and creating music as a business, you have to start thinking about the needs of the people that you're trying to get to become a fan. You have to think about their needs as well. All right. That's where we differentiate the career artist from the hobbyist. And I talk about this a lot on, Instagram. This is how we separate the two. And as creatives, I get it. I understand. I do creative stuff myself as a way to satisfy my own needs. But when it comes to building a business, you have to think about the needs of other people. So this is so important to think about how people and humans in general are motivated. For example, for example, we in COVID, right? We in the season of COVID. All right. There's a lot of people out here that's suffering. There's a lot of people that don't have any money. A lot of people out here, they may be trying to, they may be losing their home. Who knows, man? Like, basically their physiological needs aren't being met due to what's going on. So how can we expect someone to buy into what it is that we have that may be satisfying their esteem if their physiological needs aren't met first? So that's why this is so important, to understand how people consume, how people spend. You know what I'm saying? So that way you guys can start thinking about how you can market and promote your music. When I talk to artists, I always ask them, we're talking about brand and whatnot and what it is that you represent. One thing I ask them too is like, all right, how does your brand and what you represent satisfy someone else? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always talking about I'm authentic and I'm genuine, this and that and that and this. And honestly, I say those things because it's not that, it's me talking about myself or highly of myself or bragging or whatever, but I know what industry I'm in. And genuine, authentic people who are not clout chasers is hard to come by in the industry. So it's a way to differentiate myself in this industry full of fakes. Boom. So when it comes to music, artists have to think about it the same way. Why should someone listen to your song over someone else's? Why should I put your song on my playlist? Is your song that hot where I'm gonna be, driving in the car? Like, is this a record that I will play when I get off work? Is this a record I will play when I'm hugged up with the boo? Or what? We have to think about that. We have to think about how people consume music, how people listen to music, and the whole nine. This is one of the reasons why a lot of artists and their records now, we went from having 7-10 minute songs to 2 minute songs because of streaming and the attention span changed. So that is a great example of how music consumption changed and shifted how music was made. So it's so important to think about the needs of people as you're making music. All right, checking the comments. Cool. If y'all have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A box. I'll have no problem answering them as I go along. All right, cool. So when we think about, the needs and psychology and whatnot, we have to think about the positive effects of social media. And there are some negative effects as well. And this is why it's so important to protect your it's so important that you protect your psyche as a creative. Okay. Some of the positive effects of social media is social integration with similar interest groups. It makes it super easy to find role models, right? Like, I love social media because I've been able to connect with people that are like minded. Like, I have, let's see, I have 27 people tuned in right now, and I probably know maybe three of you, three or five, because you identified yourself in the chat. But there's 27 people following me, right? In COVID, I haven't been out. Like, I'll do some essential store runs, and I bring my butt back home. This is social media. So it's been able to allow people to connect with folks that have an interest, similar interests. Also, healthy and body positive lifestyle motivations. A lot of people are motivated by some of the let me say the authentic, healthy, and body positive lifestyle motivations. Right? There's a lot of people out there that have surgery to look a certain way online, but there's also a lot of people that took the long way, right? The long natural way, and they're motivated by that. So that's a positive effect. Another one is the availability of support groups and sense of belonging. That kind of ties in with the first bullet. You can also maintain and build new relationships and reconnect with people. This is why I really wanted you guys to chat in the chat box here, just to connect, because again, that's what social media is about. And honestly, I've been able to connect with a lot of people throughout the country, really, through social media, and build relationships. Just from social media. And it also, social media is an introduction into new modes of thinking, and it increases trust. Now, what they mean by that is that you're able to tap into someone else and their viewpoints. You know what I'm saying? And you guys can talk and converse and share ideas and hear a different perspective. I think that is so dope. But it can turn bad. It can turn sour, and I've seen that happen, especially with this election on Twitter, right? And the next slide, we're going to talk about the negative effects. Let's see. Someone said, "Yep, I naturally went from 637 pounds to 315 in 3 years." Come on now. COVID put back 70 pounds, but it's real. Man, 70 ain't nothing. You came a long way. Woo, you came a long way. Congratulations. For real. For real. COVID ain't gonna be here that long. I'm gonna be real. I put on about 20 pounds during COVID. And I was in the middle of losing weight. Yeah. So you drop so much, 70 pounds ain't nothing. You can knock that out by next fall. Not next fall, but next spring. I lost 40 and gained back nearly all of it. I feel your pain. Yeah, now you definitely, yeah. Show Shonda some love, man. That is a big deal. That is so huge. Congratulations. 70 pounds ain't nothing. You'll drop that quick. You'll drop that real quick. That's dope. So let's talk about some of the negative effects of social media, right? Because we get all this good stuff, but there's some negative effects. It's addictive, for one. Like, honestly, I don't have a TikTok, but I love the fact that I can go to TikTok and watch TikTok videos. And I'm glad I don't have a TikTok because TikTok is addictive, man. I would go to bed watching TikTok, just cracking up at some of them videos, man. Oh my God. But even though it's fun, it's still negative because you can get addicted to it, right? Social media is addictive. Introverts and extroverts use it for different reasons, as do people with narcissistic traits. Exactly. So we have to be careful. We have to monitor how we use social media, okay? Because you don't want to get to the point where you're always on social media to where you start, comparing yourself to other people, and you stop you stop you know, doing what you're supposed to be doing. You stop conducting your business because you're so consumed by social media. So you have to be careful with that. It triggers more sadness, less well being. Yes, the more we use social media, the less happy we seem to be. It's linked to greater feelings of social isolation and depression. Man, that is sucks, especially now with COVID. We see this a lot. We're all stuck in quarantine, and that's all we're doing is hanging out on social media. And it can trigger you, especially if you're someone that's in quarantine, but yet you see other people risking it. And they're out traveling, hanging out, drinking, and doing all kind of stuff. That can trigger some stuff. So you have to, monitor that as well. There we go. The next bullet: comparing our lives with others is mentally unhealthy. It can lead to jealousy and a vicious cycle. Inadequacy. Oh, that's big. That is so big. I know with we saw that not too long ago, a couple days, well, earlier this week, with Spotify artist Wrapped. A lot of people was comparing their numbers with other artists, and it's like, no, don't do that. Right? Because everybody has their own journey. Even with Ken the Messenger, I shared his 2019 with his 2020. Like, I had to tell him, you only need to compare yourself to yourself and yourself only. Okay. We get caught in the delusion of thinking it will help. We think social media will help, but sometimes it may not, right? More friends on social. Oh, this is a big one. More friends on social doesn't mean you're more social. It makes communicating in person difficult, and social phobia. I'm afraid that once we open back up, I'm afraid that a lot of people aren't even going to know how to interact with each other when we get back out. Like, I don't know if they're going to go crazy and just act a fool, or if they're going to be socially awkward and not continue to connect and network, right? Because for me, I miss going to my conferences. I went to A3C faithfully down in Atlanta. I love ASCAP Expo in LA. I miss going to that stuff where I'm able to connect and see people face to face that I've talked to online. So I'm concerned at how this is going to play out. Like, we're trying to think about now, like, when are we going to get back to having concerts and stuff? And that's cool. And, I know a lot of artists out here, they need their money and they want to get back to performing. But I'm thinking about how this is going to affect the human interaction. Like, that's just me, though. That's just me. Let's see. We got a question before I move on to the next slide. What's your take on TikTok for marketing? Just curious. I just like any other platform, honestly. I personally don't market or do anything with TikTok. TikTok is just entertainment for me, honestly. Like, I'm keeping it real. Um, I feel like it's yet another social media platform out there, um, but it has its benefits. I think Influencer marketing though is perfect for TikTok, but you got to have some bread. You got to have some bread so you can pay folks to do a video with your record. Because we see it all the time. A lot of songs are going viral and taking off just from people, doing videos to your song. So I think it is helpful, and you should definitely look into it. But I think influencer marketing on TikTok would be beneficial for sure. Appreciate your transparency for real. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I don't know any other way to be, honestly. Yeah, honestly. Let's see. Even some of my favorite makeup artists that I look up to. Cool. United Masters just partnered with TikTok. Yes, it's number one for breaking songs right now. Right. It is. It is. TikTok is hot right now. But at one point they were talking about shutting TikTok down for the in the US. So it's an interesting time right now. It's real interesting. I say while we got it, capitalize on it. You know what I'm saying? Use it to get whatever traction you can get out of it. Squeeze all the fruit out of it if you can, or squeeze all the juice out the fruit if you can right now. If you got the budget to do it, do it. Cool. Let's keep it moving. So we just talked about the negative effects of social media. Have you guys checked out this film or this documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma? A lot of people was talking about it a couple months ago. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Okay? Watch it because it just reinforces what I was saying earlier. We don't control social media or own the data. Okay? We don't control social media or own the data. Platforms are constantly changing the algorithm to benefit their business objectives, not ours. Okay. They change all the time. That's why I was so shocked. I was so shocked that I was averaging like 20 new followers a day the past couple of weeks. Like, I'm just looking at it like, oh my God, what is going on? I'm posting the same. You know what I'm saying? I'm posting the same stuff, but we don't control it. They do what they want to do. Okay. And you will drive yourself crazy trying to figure it out and trying to tweak and, mess with the algorithm. So I just say, hey, just post how you post and call it a day. We're going to talk about that in a couple of slides here, but don't get so wrapped up into that because we don't control social media or own the data. And definitely check this film out if you haven't seen it. This will break it all down as to why we need to leverage social media and not let it control us, not let it control our psyche, not let it control our lives, and definitely not let it control our pockets. Okay, because that film puts everything into a perspective like that will just blow you away. Okay. Can you please speak on artist RMR and how no one knew him, then he blew up? Who's RMR? Who is RMR? Let me know. All right. Let's see here. Instagram will have you sliding in your ex's DMs without you even knowing why or how. For real. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, we got to be careful. So, social media, I had to put this definition here just to remind everyone what social media actually is, okay? It's websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. All right. So, social media is for us to share content and participate in networking. Here's where creatives go wrong with that. For one, they lack a consistent brand. We talked about this earlier. Their visual brand does not reflect their sound. They sound angelic, but they look like, angry people, I guess, right? There's no common color scheme. Like there is just all over the place. They have different profile pictures on networks. So their profile picture, they have one picture that's on Instagram and another profile picture over here on Twitter and then another one over here on Facebook. Like, it's confusing. I don't recommend artists to do that starting out. If you're Beyonce or if you're well known, major label artist, you do what you want to do at that point. But us little folks, okay, we have to be consistent. We have to have a consistent brand in order to level up. Okay, we have to do stuff that the big dogs don't have to do. You know, just like Beyonce dropped a record without telling anybody, we can't do that. We can't do that. We don't have the audience for that. Right? We have to go old school and market and promote. She did that already early in her career. So when it comes to this stuff here, we can't compare ourselves to other people. We have to have our look together. So visual brand, like I said, has to be reflective of your sound. You should have some kind of color scheme and make sure you use the same profile pictures across all social media platforms. So if someone goes to look for you on Spotify or on Instagram or Facebook, they'll be like, boom, there you go. Let me go ahead and like and follow and subscribe. Another another thing that they get wrong is they're not social enough. Some of you don't comment on other posts. A lot of folks will just read, they barely double tap, and they don't comment. You have to be social. You have to be social. I do this from I'll follow other people in the music business, right? There's some other folks that, they're music business professionals, they're on the business side and they'll post and I will go in and comment. And it's not to get their attention because honestly, some of them already know who I am and they follow me, but it's to engage with the people who are also commenting in the post as well. And I've gotten followers that way. And I've also found and followed other people that way as well. So on social media, it's so important that you comment on other people's posts and be social. Another thing that a lot of creatives get wrong too when it comes to being social is that they're too promotional. The flip side is that is being too promotional. If the only time you posting is when you about to drop a single or drop a merch item or something, then you're doing it so wrong. Okay. You're doing it wrong. Like, how often do you guys see me promote something? I don't promote nothing at all, honestly. The last thing I promoted was this webinar. That's it. Outside of this, I share content, right? So you got to have some balance and can't be too promotional. That's where a lot of folks get it wrong. And then last but not least, don't post enough. A lot of artists don't post at all, right? Or if they do, it's promotional, but it's not often. Ugh. It's just a whole profile of just mumbo jumbo. All right. But I understand a lot of people don't post enough because they don't know what to post. I'm one of those people. I used to be one of those people where I didn't know what to post. I didn't start doing my little videos online until 2018. Literally. Like around this time, 2018, it was had to been like late third quarter, early fourth quarter of 2018 was when I started putting out videos consistently, and I was dropping a video every Thursday. So I understand, and I think it's because we tend to overthink things. Now, see, here's me on my, what was it, the right side of the brain. Here's me on the colorful side of the brain. I was overthinking things, when honestly, people just want to hear you. People just want to hear how you communicate the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They want to get to know you. They want to see you as a person. They want to relate to you and everything. So I had to get out of that and just start dropping these videos. And here we are 2 years later. So I understand that a lot of people don't post enough because they don't know what to post. But I'm going to help you in the next couple of slides. It's coming. It is coming. Okay. So this is where it leads to us talking about content marketing. All right. So content marketing is creating content Well, creating content is really about building a body of work that represents you. At the end of the day, that's all it is. That's what everything that we put out on social media should be a representation of you. Okay. So that's essentially what content marketing is. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You guys need to take a picture of this, screenshot it or whatever, and put this up on your wall. All right, as a reminder, because this will help you determine what you should post. As Gary Vaynerchuk says, this is going to help you reverse engineer your content. I said Gary, I reference him, and uh, I got a question about Gary Vee. So, as he says, reverse engineer. Content should have four purposes, right? Like there's four different purposes for content, or as I have here, outcomes. Your content should serve one of these purposes or have one of these outcomes. Content should be goal driven. What you create should be driven by what you want to achieve. All right. So we got to think about what it is that we want to achieve first. Okay. We got to think about what it is that we want to achieve. Once we have that, and what you want to achieve goes back to the brand and what it is that you want to be known for and what you want to be represented for, right? For me, I want to achieve. I don't want to say I want higher, more followers. I want more engagement. I want more brand awareness. That could be that could evolve into, that doesn't necessarily mean more followers, because who knows who's following me. I know I have under 4,000 followers. I'm approaching 4, but I know I have under 4,000 followers, but I got some big dogs following me. So that could equate to, it doesn't have to equate to a follower. It could equate to one of them big dogs reaching out saying, "Hey, Patrice, I got a project and I want to hire you for it." Okay. So this is why I don't get caught up in numbers. So, like I said, your content should be goal driven and it should be one of these four outcomes. Content should entertain. So it's going to connect on a human to human level, funny, highly shareable, relatable. Think about it. I love Spice Adams. If you don't know who he is, go on Instagram and you will crack up. He's a fellow Detroiter as well. I love Spice Adams. His whole profile is entertaining. All his posts are entertaining. That's his outcome. He wants to entertain and he used relatable content that's entertaining. And we share it. All right. He had one was just him. He had a CD booklet. Remember the old school CD booklets, right? Well, I forgot the name of the brand of the booklets, but I got one down in the basement or in a garage, and he was just sitting there flipping through the book, and I forgot what the caption was. It was like trying to find music before I, hop on the road or something. But it was just that, it was just nostalgic, but yet funny that we did that at one point. Now it's like, all right, let me go open up Spotify and put on a playlist. Like there was a point in time where we flipped through the CD wallet trying to find a CD to play. That was entertaining and we could relate to it, so we shared it. But he has a whole bunch of different content. So his content is entertaining. Content should also educate. Wide reach, especially for a new audience. It's also very shareable. Shows why a user should stick around and it appeals to their rational. Educate, that's me, right? All my posts are, I try to be educational. This webinar, educational, right? So that's a big forefront to me. And when it comes to, when I sit down and think about what type of content I want to put out, I think about, all right, educational. Like, honestly, I'm going to take some stuff from this webinar and create some posts to put on Instagram from this webinar. Okay. Not saying the video, but some of the content here in the presentation, because it's educational. Folks love that stuff, right? Content should also inspire or persuade. Case studies, testimonials, stories of failure and challenges gradually changes the mind of the consumer. We see that a lot as well. I used the example earlier about health and fitness and whatnot. A lot of people will post their health and fitness journey to inspire folks or to persuade them to buy a product that they may be selling. But either or, content, one of the pillars is to inspire. And then last but not least is convert, is to nudge a reader or viewer in the direction of some sort of action, like signing up for a newsletter or buying a product. So my promo video for this webinar, the whole point of that promo video was to convert, was to get you guys to sign up and join me here. So those are the four. All right. So when you guys are sitting down thinking about how you or what type of content, think of these four and maybe grab two of them. Okay. And start having content, that falls up under those four categories. But those are the four. All right. All right. Got a question. What do you think of Gary V's 60 pieces of content a day slide? I didn't even see that. I didn't see the slide. I follow him, but he doesn't show up in my news feed again, the algorithm. Just by your question, that sounds crazy. 60 pieces of content a day. That's a lot. That's a lot. Now, let me say this when it comes to Gary V. Gary V cool, all right? But I take his advice with a grain of salt. I see Kennard is in the building, and I know he probably gonna crack up. Okay, he gonna crack up because I always say something when it comes to Gary V. He like, why you don't like Gary V? Gary V cool, he cool, but I take his advice with a grain of salt. Gary V is one of those guys that he started. He had a head start. Okay, he had a head start with his journey. Also, yes, he's also a salesman. Okay, he's a salesman, so he knows how to talk to folks. And also, with that head start and all the stuff he's been able to accomplish, he has a team. 60 pieces of content sounds dope, but he has a whole agency and a team of people following him around, and has a team of people in a building in New York or wherever to chop that content up, and he has a team to post it for him. Come on. I know most of you is probably just you. I know for me, it's just me. All right. I may get the help of a graphic designer here and there, but 98% of the time it's just me. There's no way you guys are going to be able to put out 60 pieces of content in a day. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. I say take baby steps. Get in the habit of posting first. Let's take baby steps and get in the habit of posting first. Then we level up. And then we start building onto that. We can't run before we crawl. But yes, the wine library, I wouldn't call it a head start. Uh yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a company. I mean, we could argue that all day. It was a company that his father had, and he helped grow it, but it wasn't like he was broke. You know what I'm saying? As they say, it wasn't like he got it out the mud. you know, and that's no shade on him. I like his content. Like, I got a couple of his books now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's cool. I like his content and his energy, but you have to take it with a grain of salt and know that everybody's situation and background is totally different. Everybody's circumstances are different. It's totally different. And you can't compare yourself. This is why it's so important not to compare yourself to everybody, because everybody's situation is different. Everybody. Like, I don't even want you guys to compare yourselves to me. All right. Because it took me a minute to get here. It took me a minute. This is why I don't like folks comparing themselves to Diddy and Jay-Z. It's like, no, compare yourself to where they were when they first started. Not what you see here, or not what you see now, because there's levels to it. It is levels. Yep. It is it's levels. All right. So with that, let's keep it moving. So we talked about, let me go back. We talked about the 4 outcomes for content, right? This is what those outcomes, and this ties in to the hierarchy of needs and whatnot, entertain, educate, inspire, convert. These are the 4 outcomes. Your content should have one of these 4 at least, right? So here are the content types. All right. Make sure you guys screenshot or screenshot this one as well. Take a picture, do whatever, because if any of you guys are tuned in and you say, Patrice, I don't know what to post, and I know for a fact that you was in this webinar with me and you gonna fight. Okay. I'm giving you some content types right here. I'm giving it to you. All you got to do is create it. You just got to create it. So memes, right? I'll post memes all the time. Like I got some saved in my phone now. I just be waiting for the right time to post them. Or you can create your own memes. Okay, create your own memes with pictures and put little quotes on them. All right, videos and music videos. Y'all love making videos. A lot of artists, they be making videos all the time. Chop them bad boys up. Get your music video, chop it up into 1-minute clips. And even though there's IGTV and you can post stuff on Instagram longer than a minute, that's nice. However, I believe in driving traffic somewhere else. Remember, let's get people off of social media. We just want to get their attention on social media. We want to drive them somewhere else that we can monetize. The keyword, I feel like Sesame Street. The keyword of the day, okay, the word of the day is monetize, okay? Social media, we just leveraging social media just so we can get attention. Hey, look at me. Now follow me over here. Right. So with music videos, clip them bad boys, 1-minute clips, and then say, hey, click the link in my bio to watch the full video. And the link takes them to YouTube. The links takes them to YouTube, or the link could take them to your website that has the video there. And then keep in mind, YouTube, you can monetize YouTube. You can make money on YouTube. People making good money off YouTube. Speaking of which, I'm on YouTube. Make sure y'all go follow me because I drop videos like twice a week. Okay. If y'all like this, y'all like, how I flow on video, make sure you follow me on or subscribe to my YouTube channel, because after I'm dropping 2 videos a week that I just had in the can already, but new fresh content is coming the new year. So definitely make sure you check me out over there. Look at Daisy on it. Daisy. Actually, you forgot the K. Patrice K. Coakley. I think. You know what? Let me shut up because I think you got it right. I'm going to shut up. You got it right, Daisy. I appreciate you. I had to pull it up there. I appreciate you, girl. Thank you so much. I was about to say, I know, right? I'm just so used to my middle initial being everywhere. I didn't know I had just my first and last name on there. Cool. So yeah, definitely check me out on and subscribe to my YouTube. But yeah, music videos, reviews. I might start doing some what they call them on YouTube, not reviews, reaction videos, because I come across a lot of good stuff online, like performances. I want to start critiquing some things, right? That's why I said new content is coming on my YouTube after the new year. I want to start watching some performances, start critiquing some live performances and stuff like that, some music videos, the whole nine. So same thing, do reviews, critiquing, reaction videos, the whole nine. I'm doing it. So yes, definitely subscribe. But yeah, you guys can do the same thing. Live video, you got live chats, you know what I'm saying? Q&As, newsletters, offline events such as, live shows when we get back to them, podcasts, blog posts, personal opinions. I said earlier how I'm going to talk about Chance and Pat one day soon. That's my personal opinion. That's content. Okay. You got vlogs, new releases, quotes, public service announcements, inspirational messages, humorous and lighthearted images and captions. In my stories, I'll post my cat here and there because he does some crazy stuff sometimes. So I'll put him up in my stories. Audio recordings, flyers, and polls. So there's a whole bunch of content you guys can do. So just what I would do is look at this and think about what you can create yourself. Like, meaning You can literally do this yourself and not hire anyone, right? Because I want you guys to at least get in the habit of creating content before we start thinking about hiring someone to do it for us. So look at this and think about what you can do on here and tie it into your brand that we talked about at the beginning of the presentation. All right, let's keep it moving. Okay, so finding balance. All right, we talked about this a little earlier about posting too much to promotional and stuff like that. The whole point is you got to find balance. Otherwise, you're going to turn people off and they're not going to buy from you. Okay. Got to find balance. That balance is showing your casual side, but still remind them of what you do professionally. All right. I show my casual side in my stories all the time. And then I leave like, my timeline as the professional side or my videos. Or I'll talk about something professional, but I'm real casual with it. And that's just my style. Okay. So I find balance by doing that. Don't post too much personal to where they forget what you do creatively. All right. You got to have a good mix of both. Okay. You don't want to post so much about your family, your cat, and your pets, or what you do in school and the whole nine to the point where they forget what you do creatively. You got to put it in there. You want to show that you're human, but yet you want to show that you're dope too. Okay. You also want to avoid appearing one dimensional with too many business posts. That's that's where I mess up at a little bit. That's where I fail in that regard when it comes to Instagram. I have moments where I post too many business posts. That's why last week I posted about the TV show The Crown. I threw that in there. Like, yeah, I do other stuff and watch other stuff outside of music business and just business in general. And The Crown, man, I binge watched that. I was so intrigued by it. So, yeah, you got to find that balance. I got another slide. Here go another one. I need you guys to stop, screenshot this one as well, or screenshot, however you say it. Take a picture of this one too. The 70-20-10 rule. Okay. The 70-20-10 rule. This is a good way to, I don't want to say measure, but it's just a good rule of thumb when it comes to how you should post. You want to make sure you aren't spamming or being boring to your fans, but you still want to get your content out effectively. Okay. So 70% of your posts should be branding posts, meaning this should be about you in the studio. If you're an artist, this is you in the studio. You want to post photos of you in the studio, video clips from performances, vlogs, text posts about your projects, career, all of that. Whatever your brand is, or whatever it is that your brand, you know, your story, whatever your image, right? That's what 70% of your post should be. 20% is miscellaneous post, meaning this is where you talk about music you like, or you share tracks from others, random photos of you at the gym, the club, or just being yourself. So, like I said, I post too much branding posts where I'm always talking about music business and stuff like that. And I threw in the post about the crown. The crown was my 20%. The crown was a miscellaneous post, just showing that I have other interests outside of music business. And then 10%, peep this, sales. Remember, I said not to be overly promotional. So 10% should be your sales posts. 10% of your posts should be promoting and selling. So this is posts where they can, buy your single, purchase tickets, view your crowdfunding campaign. Hey, I got a new single out, go check it out. Okay. So 10% should be sales. 20% should just show that you're a regular human being. And then 70% should be the brand. Okay. It's just a good rule of thumb. It may not always be that all the time. It may not always be that. It may be 80-10-10. It may be 60-20-20. But this is just a good rule of thumb, just to get your mind in the habit of thinking of having some variety and having balance when it comes to your content. Okay. Questions real quick. Let's see. How do you feel about daily reels? Worth creating the content? Yes. Especially on Instagram, reels are hot. Like I even noticed it when I put up a reel, it was like the views is just crazy. I think it's worth doing right now since Instagram is leaning towards that direction. Thoughts on Bandcamp and doing music drops on Bandcamp only. Bandcamp. I get Bandcamp mixed up with. Let me real quick. Oops, sorry about that. Bandcamp. That's where they sell. You can sell CDs and merch and stuff right on their website, right? Yep. Yeah. Um. It's been a while. I'm gonna be honest. It's been a while since I've been on Bandcamp, and when I say a while, I want to say like a year. I'm not. I'd rather you have your own website, honestly, and you do a drop on your website. To be real, because don't Bandcamp take a cut? You know, is Bandcamp? I know they take something. Um, to answer that question, here's my question that I will pose to you to research and see if it would make sense. Uh, with Bandcamp, you want to look at how much they're taking. Okay. Also, you want to look at, do they offer some kind of discovery? Like, are people on Bandcamp looking for new music? You know what I'm saying? If they don't offer like some sort of discovery, I don't know if they do or not. If they're not offering discovery, to me, it's not worth it. I would rather see you have your own website and you drop you do a music drop on your own website and call it a day. Boom. And you just use social media to drive traffic back there. Did you create this? It's fire. Thank you. Yes, I did create it. Appreciate it. Or I designed it. Let me say that I designed it. Much less of a cut than major streaming. Yeah, exactly. What are they offering? I encourage all artists to and be so concerned with posting on every single site. What are they offering? Yeah, you got to think about what Bandcamp is offering. If they, I feel like when it comes to all these platforms and whatnot, if they're not right now, what you guys need is exposure. You need marketing. At the end of the day, what you need is marketing. Okay, if a platform isn't giving you marketing or offering some sort of discovery channel where people can go online and come across your music, you don't need to be on it. Like I wouldn't even give them a dime. At that point, just have your own website, use social media, run some ads, drive traffic to your website, call it a day. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. Because right now, what a lot of artists need, y'all don't need any more talent. Y'all got talent. You need marketing and awareness and whatnot. There's so many places to put music. It is. It is. There's a lot of places. All right. So we got all this content. I gave you all those content types, right? Here's what you guys can do to prevent yourself from being burnt out. All right. I'm going to be honest. There's days where I get burnt out. I was burnt out the past week. Okay. I feel another burnout coming. But look, my posts are scheduled. Okay. I have posts scheduled up until like the 23rd or the 22nd. And then I'm going to slow down because of Christmas. And then I'm going to pop right back up. So you have to, like, to avoid burnout, use a scheduling tool. There's a lot of them out there. Okay. This would help you guys so much because I know a lot of people do not post online for this reason. For one, they don't know what to post, they don't know when to post, they don't know how to post. And then you thinking you got to do it right now when really all you need to do is set aside a good 2 hours a week, if that, and plan this stuff out. Like I said, I would say a month ago, I sat down for like 4 hours really and scheduled my post out all the way up until Christmas. So now I don't have to worry about feeling burnt out. Okay. The tool that I use the most is Buffer. Buffer is, like I said, I always tell people Buffer need to hire me. They need to do something because I'm always shouting them out. Buffer is my number one social media tool. Even those clips and stuff you guys see me put on Instagram, I load them up in Buffer and Buffer posts them for me. Now I do have it set where it'll send me a reminder to my phone to post it, but I can also set it to where it automatically posts for me. I love Buffer because you're able to pre-select your schedule. So I can say I want posts to go out at Sunday at 11 a.m. and then I want to post to go out at Sunday at 7 p.m. because I know Sunday night is hot for me. I don't know what it is with my account, but Sunday night and Thursday morning, those are hot times for me. So I make sure I have those times, those slots there. And then I just load up my buffer, meaning I upload my content, my picture or my video, type my caption, add it to the queue, and then it'll automatically post those uh that content out at the pre-selected times. And then of course I can go in and click and drag and move stuff around how I see fit. But that's what I love about Buffer is that I can pre-select my times and be done with it and just load it up. Now, what I do use when it comes to Buffer, I will tell you guys this. I don't know if you guys have your account set up, but on Instagram, use your analytics. Okay. Switch your account over to a business account and use your analytics because they will tell you so much. It'll tell you what hashtags, if hashtags are working for you. You know what I'm saying? It'll tell you where your audience is from, their location, their gender, the age group, the whole nine, right? I know I get a lot of traffic and a lot of love from Atlanta. Like, I don't know. I get more love in Atlanta than Chicago. I don't know what's up with that Chicago. I don't know what's up with y'all. I don't know. Y'all got me here, but Atlanta be showing me Atlanta show me so much love. It's crazy on Instagram. So you're able to see that now because you have that information. Now you can develop content for those different regions or those demographics, right? So make sure you guys set your Instagram up with uh as a business account and take a look at those analytics. There's so much in there. So I said all that to say with Buffer, I go in my analytics and I see what times are hot. Like they track all that. They'll tell you what days are hot for you and what hours of the day that are hot. So I'll take that information, load it up in Buffer, put that schedule, those time slots in Buffer, and then I roll my content out from there. And then I just take a mental note, because my phone, I get the notifications. So I just take a mental note like, oh yeah, okay, Sunday night still hot for me. Sunday night still good, okay, because my phone going off. All right, Thursday still good, okay, so I just take a mental note of that. Sprout Social is another good one. If you're looking to get into social media or digital marketing as like a career, you should definitely know about Sprout Social and Hootsuite. Sprout Social is a direct competitor to Hootsuite. Um, the great thing about those platforms is that they allow monitoring, right? With Buffer just schedules. Whereas with Sprout Social and Hootsuite, you can actually go in those accounts and see your timelines, meaning Facebook and Twitter and the whole nine, right? Instead of scrolling Twitter, you can go into Sprout Social or Hootsuite and scroll there and do your social media posting and engagement right from those accounts. I don't like that personally. Now, if it's just me and I'm just managing my own accounts, I'll use Buffer to schedule, and then I'll just go into the Facebook or Twitter app or Instagram app and do my, engagement, right? But if I have a bunch of clients, then I'll use something like Sprout Social or Hootsuite, mainly Sprout Social. I love them. I used to work with them back in the day. I was with them for some months, and I love the platform. It's expensive. I will say that. That's why I say Sprout Social, Hootsuite, those are good if you had clients because you can just tack that price, that monthly fee of having the platform into the cost or into the rate that you charge your client. So it can get pricey. But I still want you guys to know about it and learn about it. You also have Plannerly and Later. Both of those are just Instagram. Later, I saw that they started integrating with other social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter. I haven't used it for that. I just used it for Instagram, just to go in and just see the lay of the land because I heard there were some changes and whatnot. And you can, one thing I will say about Later is that you can go in and click and drag and move around your post, so that way you can see how it would appear on your profile, right? Like, you know how people have their Instagram all looking pretty, and the grids all nice and stuff. You can go on later and Planoly and literally click and drag those posts in the order, so that way it can look how you want it to look. I don't care about all that. Honestly, I don't care about all that. Y'all go to my page and you see my stuff all over the place. I care about the individual posts and the quality of the content and the message that I'm getting out. So, yeah, those are some options. Take a look at them. Don't use what I use because I use it. You go on, do your own research, and see which one works best for you. There's other tools out there, but these are the ones that I've personally had experience with. So, yeah, you go in there and see what works best for you and your budget. All right. Let's see. I got a couple questions, and we're almost done. We're almost done here. Let's see. Oh, would you suggest these services in the order you've listed? I kind of answered that one already. Uh, call out vultures who are slanging BS services, please. I'm not gonna do that. I ain't about that life. I let the vultures and all the people that slanging BS. I let them call themselves out. I ain't got time for that. All I can do is focus on me, myself, and my message and my people. Uh, let's see. Are Planoly and later paid tools as well? Yes, they are. They are. They may have like a free trial. I do remember later I paid something for later. It was like $7 or $9 a month. Something like that. It was a free trial, but then it was like 7 or 9 a month. Something like that. But yeah, all of these aren't free. Let me put it like that. Buffer, I pay $15 a month. Later, like I said, it's about 7 and 9 bucks a month. That's the low plan because it's just my accounts. It's just me. Like my Patrice K. Coakley, and I throw the baseline group accounts in there, and I got Rich Off Passion in there as well. Sprout Social. Oh, I think they're playing. I remember when they had a $39 plan, and then it went to 59. Now it's 99. Sprout Social, like I said, it's expensive. They're up there, but like, look, what's 7 9 bucks? Okay, I know a lot of people won't use these tools, especially artists. I know some of you won't use these because they cost, and I get it. I used to be that way too, but they save so much time. Is worth it. A month, $15 a month. We spend that going out to eat. Okay, it's and just write it off at the end of the year. Given that your business is set up and you can, you got your DBA and all that set up, right? You write this is a business expense. I write this off at the end of the year. So it's so worth it because if you do all that I'm showing you guys right, you gonna make this money back. Like, no, you gonna make it back if you do it right. All right. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So, like I said earlier, don't worry about followers. They'll come. The followers will come. Don't even worry about that number. Focus on driving traffic to your website. Okay? Focus on driving traffic to your website. Some benefits of driving traffic to your website: there's no algorithms. You don't have to worry about platforms not showing your content to your followers. Okay? You don't have to worry about that. Anyone who visits your site, they're going to see it. Okay? You own the data. Whatever data you collect, it's yours. All right. Whether it's the emails, the phone numbers, the whole nine. Think of Instagram. You don't have nobody's email from Instagram. You don't have their phone number, but on your website, you can put up a little spot on your website, and people will, they'll give you their information if they want to get updates from you. But still, you own that data. There are many tools that can be used to track site visitor data as well. So you got Google Analytics, there's Hotjar, there's a lot of different programs out there that would allow you to track how people navigate your website. You know what I'm saying? And you can use that information to run ads. Facebook pixel. You can put a pixel, a code on your website, and you can track that information and run ads on that. So it's so important to have a website for that reason. And last but not least, you control the communication channel. Site visitors can opt in a communication channel of your choice, whether it's email, text, or regular mail. You decide. So you can control it. You can say if you want emails or texts or you want their addresses to send mail. Me personally, I like email because I feel like with texting to me is a little invasive unless you like the doctor's office or something. I feel like it's a little too much, and then my phone go off all the time anyway. Um, yeah, I think email, I can pick and choose when I want to see my email. So I personally like email. But yeah, it's up to you and your brand and your audience. Most importantly, your audience. You got to know how your audience would like to be communicated with, like, or how they would like to be communicated to. Okay, so you have to understand the audience so that way you can set up the right way to communicate with them. But again, the number one benefit though is to sell products and to make some money. Okay. We're doing all this, the branding, understanding the psychology, how people are thinking, how they're consuming, all of that, the color scheme, the posting it on the social media. We're doing all this so we can sell something and make some money at the end of the day. Okay. Right here, I got a shirt. Stop talking, start doing. This is a shirt from. I gotta shout it. I gotta plug it. This is a shirt from my collection at thebaselineGroup.com. But again, I don't even make much from it. But honestly, I created the store just for practice, honestly. And I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. And just to have something that's out there, it's like I said, I'm wearing it now, just to have something that's out, sporting the logo and whatnot. So yeah, the whole point of this is so you guys can make some money. You guys can't perform, and even if you were performing, you probably wasn't making much because you're not, a superstar yet. So here's a way that you guys can make some money, is having a website and doing all this stuff that's going to lead to that sale. Here's some ways to sell apparel and physical products. All right, here's some ways. Drop shipping. Drop shipping is basically, it allows you to sell goods and sell product without having a warehouse or inventory. What happens is that someone goes to your site, places an order. That order goes to a company that you choose. They print the shirt, package the shirt, and ship it to your customer. Now, how the payment go is that when the customer goes to your site, they pay. The company takes their cut, and you keep the rest of the fee or the cost, right? You keep the rest, and then they handle all the packaging and whatnot. So drop shipping is a quick way for you guys to make some money without investing money up front and having inventory. For example, my shirts, this is done through drop shipping. Printful is what I use. There's also Teespring, excuse me, there's T Public, and there's Threadless. There's also some other companies out there, but these are the four that I know of and have experience with. But I personally use Printful, and it's integrated into my WordPress website to where you couldn't even tell. It looks like I have inventory, but I don't. It looked like I'm over here printing shirts in the garage, but I'm not. All right. You go in there, you order the shirt, and they get shipped to you. Even when they ship it to you, you wouldn't even known that it came from Printful. So this is a dope way for you guys to make money now. All right. Without having any kind of inventory. And like I said, I created my store just for practice. Like, because I set up my artist Ken the Messenger, I set up his store. I did mine first, and I was like, let me test it out. Let me throw something up there. Just put something up there to see how it go. And it worked. And I was like, oh, cool. Let me do it for him. So yeah, I just got some stuff up there just to have it up there. The flip side of that is owning inventory. So if you were to own inventory, here's some platforms you guys can consider. There's Shopify. Big Cartel. Big Cartel is literally just an online store. And then you can also have a built-in um, e-commerce uh, plug-in or feature that's already built into your website. I know Squarespace has a store. WordPress has a plug-in that they use called WooCommerce. Um, let's see. Think that is it that I can think of off the top of my head. But here's the thing with those, you got to have the inventory. You have to have the CDs on hand. You have to have the shirts and all the sizes. So that way, when that order comes in, you're the one taking the order, packaging it up, and dropping it off at the post office or UPS. Okay. But those are the platforms you can use for that. That is dope. Owning the inventory, this comes in hand when you have like a special item, because with drop shipping, how you can print on these shirts and these products is limited, right? Like with the t-shirts, of course you could print on the front. You can also print on the back. Like I got my logo on the back. Um, but you can't like print all at the bottom of the shirt. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Like hoodies, you can't print on the hood of the shirt, right? Like so they tell you where you can print. Like they have, the print areas. So if you're trying to get real custom, okay, it's best if you paid up front for that inventory and did it that way. All right. I would say that's the biggest difference between the two. Like if you got something that's real custom, but if you don't and you just got something simple, drop shipping, save yourself the headache. As far as profit margins, cost wise, right? Because of course you got to pay for this stuff. With drop shipping, I would say, I'm trying to think, I should have looked in my account before I logged on, but I would say t-shirts cost, meaning Printful's cut is about, wow, hmm, about $15 or so, something like that. It depends on the size, it depends on the material, um, the brand, right? And then the color of ink. There's a lot of variables in that. But they have what they charge for the shirt, and then you just add on your cut to it. You know what I'm saying? You just put the margin on what you would want to make from it. And on the inventory, that really depends on wherever you go. If you want to go somewhere local or whatnot and have them do it, you guys can negotiate the cost. If you're getting a lot done, maybe you can get like a bulk discount. Yeah, it could easily be $15. I I think I should have looked. I see why average is 25 online. Yep, exactly. Exactly. But locally though, I know if I was to get shirts printed up locally, they charge like $9, $10, $9 and $12, honestly, depending on the size. Cause I'll get larger sizes sometimes, just for folks have a good wide range. It could be anywhere from $9 to $12 a shirt if I was to do it locally. So yeah, yeah. Happy I have a press that does 4 colors. Yeah, if you got space, if you have space and the time, okay, space and the time to print at home, do it. I don't have the space and I sure don't have the time, nor do I have interest in even doing it. Like I don't want to be buying ink and t-shirts and doing all that. So it is what it is. But yeah, you can save a lot of money if you did it yourself. Let's see. All right, let's keep it moving. So I talked about earlier D2C communication, direct to consumer communication, and I mentioned you can, have emails, you can text messaging and whatnot. And I said email is my number one. Personally, I prefer to get email newsletters from folks. That don't mean to add me to your newsletter. Don't do that. Don't do that to anyone, really. Don't add anyone to your newsletter unless they gave you their email address. I know a lot of people would do that. And if I didn't add myself to your newsletter, I will unsubscribe. Like I love you, but I didn't ask to be added. So you want to be courteous of people and be polite and courteous and whatnot. But like I said, email marketing is my number one way of communicating because for me, uh, I can pick and choose when I check my emails. Whereas text messaging, like I have one phone and my mom, family, I don't want my phone going off all day unless it's the doctor or the dealership saying my car ready or something like that. I don't need my text messaging and my phone to be going off all day. So email is best. Here's some ideas though. As an artist and you wanted to send out some updates via email, here are some ideas, okay? Because I know a lot of people, they struggle with this. You can send up general updates. So if you got a record coming out, a video, if you're relocating, if you're writing new music, or if you're getting ready to do whatever, you can let people know that. Like, keep in mind, these are people that are showing interest in you by giving you their email address, right? It's like if you're a guy, girl, whoever, this is as if a girl give you their phone number. They're giving you their number because they like, yeah, I want you to use it. Same thing. People are giving you their email address, so they want to know what you got going on. So general updates. You got upcoming events. If you have any events coming up, certainly let them know. If you got a show, a gig, if you're traveling to a conference, let folks know. I did that. I sent the email out one time letting people know a couple years ago that I was going to LA for ASCAP, and one of my lawyer buddies saw it and was like, "Oh my God, I'm going too. Let's link up while we're there." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool." So yeah, you let people know of upcoming events, new merch items. When I would roll these shirts out, I sent out an email letting them know, like, "Hey, I got shirts. Hey, now they're available in hoodies." So you certainly can do that. If you have any special offers, like we just had Black Friday, I got a bunch of emails on Black Friday. I didn't use none of them because I don't need anything, but um, special offers, any discounts that you're trying to put out. You may have a birthday discount, New Year's Eve discount, some kind of holiday discount. You can certainly send that out. And then live streams. A lot of people don't think about that, especially now. Live streams are hot. Okay. Live streams are hot. So you certainly want to send the email out, letting the people know that they can, tune into your live stream. You got to let people know ahead of time so they can clear their day and clear their schedule. You can't just assume that people are going to drop what they do to watch you live. Okay. And you can't assume that people are going to sit there and watch the entire broadcast either. Even with my live sessions, I know people come and go because they have stuff to do, and that's cool. They can go back and watch the replay. But when you're performing and you're doing something live, you got to let them know ahead of time. Like I let you guys know about this webinar ahead of time so you guys can, come in and join in. So as far as platforms, there's a bunch of email platforms that are out there. You got MailChimp. I would say they're number one, and it's only because they're free. MailChimp is free for the first 2,000 subscribers. I recommend them for that reason alone, just so you guys can get familiar with email marketing. And they have a lot of features within the platform alone for free. So use them as like an intro. But once you got the hang of it and you're able to convert some of those emails over into paying fans and or clients, look into ConvertKit. There, I love how clean it is. You can set up landing pages in that platform. A lot of bloggers and business coaches use it. Um, and they do have a free plan. Um, but I think at 500 or 1,000 subscribers, you do have to pay. It's like 10, $20 or something like that. But like I said, it's such a more robust platform. But like I said, it's best to use that once you start making a couple bucks and able to convert your emails over into some money. There's also Allllllll. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've seen them quite a bit. I have not personally used them, but I just wanted to throw one in there. And then there's also some email marketing features that are in some of these web platforms that are out there. I know Squarespace has one. I believe GoDaddy websites, they offer a built-in email platform as well. So those are some options to definitely consider. And then last is text messaging, text marketing. This is a big one. This is a big one. Okay, Shondas, I see you had a question. I'm gonna get back to that one. I see you though. Okay, text messaging or text marketing. This is a big one. A lot of people are using this now. It's slowly catching on. I would say, even though a lot of businesses use text messaging. Like I said, I'll get text messages from the doctor or the dealership and whatnot. But when it comes to art and creatives, I would say that Ryan Leslie was definitely a pioneer with this. He was one of the first ones advocating for artists and creatives to use text marketing as a way to build relationships with their fans. And his platform is called Superphone. I have that listed here. It's pricey. I will say that it's pricey, but it's straight up built for artists. It's a real dope platform. Um, but it's pricey, but it's worth it if you know how to work it. Okay. Here's some text ideas though. You got special offers. Again, it's pretty much the same thing that you would send in the email. Special offers. Let people know that you're gonna go live. You can ask for feedback. Like, hey, I'm offering new merch items. Should I offer red shirts or black shirts? Let me know. Click here to vote. You can also send messages and have it scheduled. You can collect people's birthdays and then automatically set it to where you send people a happy birthday message on their birthday. Yeah, you can certainly do that as well. Some of the platforms you have Fan Connect. I notice a lot of folks are using them. Um, with them, I forgot how much they charge. It's like 10, $20 a month, I believe. Don't quote me on these prices. I'm just trying to give y'all something as far as like, from memory. But one thing I do know about Fan Connect that is only one way. It's a one-way communication. Like you can send a text out, but they couldn't text you. I remember that was big for me when I was looking for Ken because he wanted to send out daily text messages to people. Like, since he's Ken the messenger, he wanted to send out some daily messages, some motivational messages. But he wanted people to be able to, text him back. And I know Fan Connect did not have that. It was only one way. There's Community. A lot of people are using Community. A lot of celebrities are using that one. I don't know much about it. I've seen articles, read articles on it, but that's something that you guys should definitely consider and do your research on. And then there's Superphone, Ryan Leslie's platform. Um, a lot of folks, a lot of folks is on Superphone. I know Kennard. I don't know if he's still in here. Kennard uses it. I get his text messages every week when he goes live on his podcast. Ryan Leslie, he uses it obviously, but it's real dope. It's a dope platform, but like I said, I wouldn't use that until you're at a point where you making a couple dollars. Okay, till you get to that point. So yeah, remember as we wrap up, remember engagement matters. Okay, engagement matters at the end of the day. This is the whole point of us doing all of this is to get people to fall in love with you and who you are, and then drive that traffic back to your website, and then that's when you catch them. It's like you throwing that bait out and you reeling them back in, and then you sell them whatever it is that you got. But of course you got to be good. But like I said, I'm assuming everybody in here is talented, but you gotta get your bait right. You gotta show who you are, because that engagement matters. Don't focus on the size of your following or even the growth. Don't worry about that. I mentioned that I was getting 20 new followers, but you know, I see that they're quality people because they sliding in my DMs. Like my DMs been going off. So I'm like, that's dope. And that's what I pay attention to. Because like I said, what's important is that you engage with your audience. You want to convert them into fans. You want to create value, and you want to show that you're good at what it is that you do. This is how you're able to monetize social media in this virtual world. Build the brand, show them who you are, bring them back to the website, add the value, give them the value, and make the money. Boom. Any questions? Any questions? That wraps up the presentation. Um, Make sure you guys follow me. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. I'm on Facebook as well. Speaking of Facebook, Shonda's had a question. How do you feel about Facebook? I find it to be more local than anything. What do you suggest? Um, Facebook, yes, I agree, is more local. Facebook, from a business perspective, a lot of people saying there's still life in it. I haven't seen it just yet. Like if you're creating a new brand or business on Facebook, it may be tough. You may have to spend some money getting the word out there because their algorithm is just crazy. But if you're already established, then I feel like there's still some life there. It's certainly more local, and that's because Facebook, I think, is more local in a sense because of the demographic, right? You have to think about the demographic, like who's on Facebook. Is more so the older, generation, right? So you have more mature people on Facebook. So I still think there's life there. It just depends on how you're going to use it. I know for me, I don't promote any business on Facebook. And that's simply because people know me on there are like friends and family. So I may post some goofy stuff, post my cat, you know, chop it up with my cousins back home or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's more personal. So it really depends on your audience. I don't think it should be slept on. It just depends. It really depends. What do you think of Superphone? I love Superphone. I think Superphone is dope. I love it. Definitely, I would say, like I said earlier, you should certainly consider it. But I wouldn't use it until you got a good audience and a fan base. You know what I'm saying? Because it's pricey and it's super intuitive. There's a lot. Superphone can be a lot. And, I believe in baby steps for artists because remember, we're dealing with the right and left brain. All right. Baby steps. This was dope. Thank you. I appreciate it. This was helpful. Great. Appreciate it. Okay. That's dope. That's good to hear. Everyone in this webinar has been super cool and inspirational. That's dope. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in and engaging in the chat. Shout out to Kennard. I see you. Darrell, I see you. I appreciate you. Let's see. Daisy, of course, you already know. Think I saw Ron from Beatboxing here. In here trying to get some business. Let's see. Yeah. I appreciate y'all for stopping in. Percy, I saw you in here. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions after this, feel free to reach out to me. Um, what's your cash app? Y'all, let me drop my cash app in here now. I don't, if y'all want to give me a tip, y'all can give me a tip. I'm gonna drop my cash app in here for y'all. It's just Patrice at Patrice TBG. But yeah, like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But definitely follow me and connect with me if you haven't on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, especially Instagram and YouTube. Instagram, I post content all the time, and YouTube, I got some dope videos playing. So thank you so much. And yeah, I will catch y'all next time. Peace.